We had a good fishery here up and down the coast since I graduated high school in 1979. I even fished as a kid before that. Grew up in southern Maine, relocated to mid-coast. Fisheries have declined to basically non-existent here, and they've been non-existent east of here. And even Port Clyde is on the threshold of. They've been holding on by the skin of their teeth now for the best part of 20 years. The forage species are gone. The rivers were dammed up and whatever, so we were missing our forage species. The seiners, you started getting bigger seiners, deeper purse seines. They started pushing further offshore. The herring were no longer coming inshore anymore. I grew up fishing small boats. I've owned bigger boats. I've fished out west on even bigger boats. A small boat fishery generates so much more money for the communities that they're in. I think for the state as an overall, because every little dock has a lumping crew. Every little dock has a truck driver. Every little dock has, stern men and deck workers that come down to work on these boats. When you sift that all down and you end up with a big boat fishery, not that there isn't a place for big boat fisheries, because I think there is. I think that the natural characteristic of an owner-operator of a small boat, I think any owner-operator is probably going to take better care of their fishery than somebody that's in it for the short term. But as I sit back and think about it now, we've lost that economic engine that drove this area. And with that, we not only lost we didn't just lose the fish, we lost our access to the fish too. To me, that's huge and that's dear, because if anybody ever figures out what's going on and the fish come back, they can literally be crawling up the shores down here, and all the guys and the families that had traditional rights down here, it's basically gone. If that's gone, it's probably going to go forever for the small boat guys. They're going to be pushed out the door. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think corporate fishing I don't think they have a place. I think they ought to be behind the wheel. If they want to own 40 boats, that's okay, but they need to get behind the wheel of all 40 boats and run them themselves. In an ideal world, if you could start out from ground zero again, I think that you'd have, in my mind, you'd have an owner-operator fishery. You would have probably some kind of inside-outside boundary line. If we'd gone owner-operator, inside-outside, and a lot stricter on mesh management, I think we'd stand a real chance at having a fishery here now.